The identity leak. Quick question. How many versions of you exist right now? There's the biological you, sitting wherever you are, listening to this. But there's also the digital you, the you that exists in Google's servers, the you in Facebook's algorithms, the you that Amazon knows better than your own family, the you that TikTok can predict, the you made entirely of data points, behavioral patterns, and purchases. And here's the disturbing part. The digital you might be more consistent, more complete, and more real than the biological one. So, which one is actually you? This is Uncomfortable Theories. I'm your host, Janet Robinson. Act 1, the Digital Fragments. Every time you go online, you leave a piece of yourself behind. Every search query, every click, every post, every like, every product you view, every video you watch, every email you send, every location you visit with your phone in your pocket. All of it is collected, cataloged, and stored. According to recent estimates, Google processes over 8.5 billion searches per day. Facebook collects data on 3 billion users. Amazon tracks every product you've ever looked at, every review you've read, every item you've purchased. These companies have been building comprehensive profiles of you for years, maybe decades. And those profiles might know you better than you know yourself. Think about it. You forget things. You change your mind. You act irrationally. You make decisions based on mood, hunger, sleep deprivation. But the digital you? It remembers everything. Every preference you've ever expressed. Every pattern in your behavior. Every purchase you regretted. Every search you deleted from your history, thinking it was gone. It's all still there, building a composite image of who you are. And that composite might be more accurate than your own self-perception. Act 2, the AI mirror. But it gets worse. AI can now create perfect copies of you. Voice cloning technology has reached what researchers call the indistinguishable threshold. According to Fortune magazine, a few seconds of audio from a video call, a podcast, a TikTok, is enough to generate a perfect clone of your voice, complete with natural intonation, rhythm, emotion, pauses, and breathing sounds. In 2025, AI voice cloning scams surged 442% year over year. Financial losses from deepfake fraud exceeded $200 million in just the first quarter of 2025. One engineering firm lost $25 million when employees attended a video conference call with their CFO and other executives. Except it wasn't them. It was AI-generated deepfakes. Video, voice, speech patterns, all perfect. Nobody suspected fraud. A mother in Florida received a frantic call from her daughter, crying, desperate, saying she'd been in a car accident and needed $15,000 immediately. The voice was perfect. The emotional distress was convincing. She wired the money instantly. Only after speaking to her real daughter did she discover she'd been talking to an AI clone the entire time. Berkeley researchers studying deepfake detection found that humans correctly identify high-quality voice deepfakes only about 24.5% of the time. That's worse than random chance. You literally cannot tell the difference between a real person and an AI copy. And it's not just voice. AI can now write in your style after analyzing your social media posts. It can mimic your face in video calls. It can generate emails that sound exactly like you. At what point does the AI version become indistinguishable from the real you? Act 3, the preference paradox. Here is where it gets philosophical. When Netflix recommends a show and you love it, did you discover your taste? Or did the algorithm create it? When Spotify suggests a song that becomes your new favorite, was that already your preference waiting to be revealed? Or did the algorithm shape your preference by showing it to you at exactly the right moment? Studies show that recommendation algorithms don't just predict what you'll like, they influence what you like. By controlling what you're exposed to, they shape your tastes, your opinions, your preferences. Your Spotify Wrapped isn't a reflection of who you are. It's a record of who Spotify made you become over the past year. Instagram doesn't show you what you want to see. It shows you what keeps you scrolling. And after enough exposure, what keeps you scrolling becomes what you want to see. You think you're making choices, but you're choosing from options the algorithm decided to show you, and in order the algorithm optimized for engagement, at a time the algorithm predicted you'd be most receptive. The digital you, the version that exists in these systems, is making decisions before the biological you even realizes there's a decision to make. Sometimes the algorithm knows you better than you know yourself. It can predict when you're about to break up with someone based on search patterns. It knows you're pregnant before you tell anyone. It knows you're depressed from your typing speed and word choice. So, which version is the real you? The one who thinks they're making autonomous choices? Or the one the algorithm has been quietly constructing through years of behavioral manipulation? Act 4. The Ship of Theseus. There's an ancient philosophical paradox called the Ship of Theseus. Imagine a wooden ship. Over time, planks rot and are replaced with new ones. Eventually, every single piece of the original ship has been replaced. Is it still the same ship? Philosopher Thomas Hobbes added a twist. What if someone collected all the original discarded planks and rebuilt them into a second ship? Which one is the real Ship of Theseus? The continuously maintained version or the one made from original materials? This paradox is about identity persistence through change, and it applies directly to you. Every cell in your body is replaced over time. Within 7 years, you're biologically a completely different person than you were before. Different atoms, different molecules, different cells. Are you still you? Most philosophers say yes because there's continuity. Gradual change maintains identity. But what about your digital twin? AI trained on years of your data can predict your responses, write in your voice, make decisions you would make. If that AI is more consistent than biological you, doesn't forget, doesn't change mood, doesn't act irrationally, then which version has stronger claim to being you? The Ship of Theseus gets rebuilt gradually, and we call it the same ship. But the digital you is also being rebuilt, constantly updated with new data, refined with better algorithms, made more accurate with each interaction. At what point does the digital reconstruction become more you than the biological original? Act 5. The post-death you. And here's the really disturbing possibility. Companies are already creating AI chatbots of deceased people using their digital history. Your social media posts, your emails, your texts, your photos, your voice recordings, all fed into AI to create a digital version that can continue interacting after you die. Imagine your grandchildren talking to an AI version of you. It has your sense of humor, your speech patterns, your values and beliefs. To them, is that you? Or is it just a sophisticated simulation? Here's the thing. They never knew biological you. You died before they were born. The only version of you they'll ever know is the digital one. So to them, the AI isn't a copy. It's the original. And if that AI is trained on decades of your data, every email, every text, every post, every recorded conversation, it might actually be more accurate than your biological self in those final years, when memory was failing and personality was changing. The AI you might be more you than late-stage biological you ever was. Act 6. The Dissolution. So here's what's actually happening. You're not losing your identity to the internet. You're distributing it. Every platform has a piece of you. Google has your questions and curiosities. Facebook has your relationships and opinions. Amazon has your desires and purchases. TikTok has your attention patterns and interests. The biological you, the one made of flesh, is just one instance of your identity among many. And maybe not even the most important one. Because the biological you will die. Your cells will stop replacing themselves. Your consciousness will cease. But the digital you, that keeps running, keeps learning, keeps existing in corporate servers and AI models trained on your behavioral data. Long after biological you is gone, digital you will persist. Influencing recommendation algorithms, training future AI models, maybe even interacting with people through chatbots. Conclusion. So here's the question you need to ask yourself right now as you listen to this. Are you the biological you sitting in a chair? Or are you the digital you that's being updated in a dozen corporate databases because you clicked on this video? When you go online tonight and scroll through your feed, which version of you is doing the scrolling? The one made of flesh and neurons? Or the one made of data and predictions that's been learning your patterns for years? And if the digital you makes better predictions, remembers more, behaves more consistently, which one is really you? This has been Uncomfortable Theories. I've been your host, Janet Robinson. Question everything, trust nothing, and remember, by the time you realize you're the copy, it's already too late.